Well, hello everyone, my name is Prime and welcome back to another episode of ATS Showcases, and today I am here in the 2022 Freightliner Cascadia that has just been added to the game. I say the Freightliner Cascadia as 2022, meaning the options. There are a few options that you can choose in the configurator for the Freightliner Cascadia that you can give it the 2022 spec that you would see if you were to order it in real life. So we are here in Redding, California today, and we are taking fireworks up to Medford. Decided to check out more of the California reskin because I have done a couple little things in here. It has reset a little bit as well because of all the various updates and stuff. But it is going to be a really good journey, not too far, but obviously you can tell on the outside, depending on the angle, you can see little bits of aero on the truck if you have a really keen eye. I've got the full aero package on this truck today, along with the trailer at the back. If I zoom out enough, you can kind of see it. There it is. And the inside is the biggest piece of this update, at least in my opinion. So now that we're in the interior of this new configuration, obviously you can tell it is all just screens on the dash. So let's go ahead and zoom in here and get this thing started up so you can see what it looks like. Now, I do have to say, I like the cleanliness of these displays. Obviously, the GPS is nice and big, so it's really easy to see. And the display is just really clean, and it does have a few different modes. So if we hit it once, it goes to, I guess that's the turbo spool up. Hit it once more, it gives the oil level and a few other pieces of information. And you can also turn it off if you just want the main stuff in the center. But today I'm going to leave it on the consumption and some of the live graphic stuff for there with the temperatures. Obviously gas is in the bottom left hand corner along with the DEF or diesel exhaust fluid, and of course your gear and economy modes and parking brakes, all that good stuff is right there as well. So why don't we roll head out of here now that we are all good, and hopefully everyone is doing well. I certainly am, and just enjoying, you know what, I've been very busy, but it's nice to have a little bit of extra time here to do some of this, and I was really excited when I saw, well, when I did the Prime News, to be honest, on this Freightliner Cascadia. I do really like the Freightliner Cascadia. For those who have been around for a bit, you know I am a bit of a fanboy of the Western Star 49X and the Freightliner Cascadia. I do like the International LT as well and the W900. But in general, I have to say the Freightliner Cascadia and the Western Star are probably my two more favorite trucks. And you know what? It's nice to check out this new option. Obviously, if you own a Freightliner Cascadia and if you're part of the 1.43 open beta, you can get this, and you can just see in the options of the store page itself, whether you're buying the truck or if you go to a garage and service it, you'll be able to see some options. Don't take out the corner there with my trailer, preferably. You'll be able to see the option, and it will either say 2020 or 2022. It, in theory, should be 2022, but for right now, I'm actually recording this on the very first day that it got implemented into the beta. The options were actually saying 2020. I'm not sure why that is, but hey-ho, they're the new features nonetheless, and I'll take it. So we're here, I'm happy, and well, who cares about the naming? That will change obviously by the time that 1.43 actually does release. But speaking about 1.43, this is a nice extra addition to the entire update. Obviously this is free, people, keep that in mind. I'm gonna get over here. Oh, blast my ears out, man alive. I have my headphones a little loud. I forgot with the audio update, it really does change the interior versus exterior, which is great in all, but I gotta remember that sometimes it resets audio levels, and I gotta fix that. So then my headphones don't absolutely demolish my ears when I go to the outside. Obviously for you guys it should be fine because I do all the compressors and stuff in editing, so then everything just sounds a little bit more balanced for you guys. But nonetheless, I like the sounds. I like how stuff sound or kind of looks, and I'm really liking the dash here. Nice big digital display for speed, and then obviously you got the more analog look as well. It's just nice to see some average fuel consumption as well. I'm not sure if 7.4 miles per gallon is actually good. I would say no, considering when I put the gas on a little bit, like it does go up quite significantly, but it's kind of hard. I'm Canadian, so obviously I do everything in liters and stuff like that, or yeah, it's a different conversion unit. So if you could let me know if 7 miles per gallon is actually good, which I it doesn't sound very, very good, but maybe for a transport it is. I don't know. Again, those are things I really have no idea. I mean, if I were to put it on cruise, I guess we'd see a more representative piece of how the truck actually does in economy mode. And I don't know if it really translates for the aero package versus not. I would assume it would. But honestly, I have not tested that. Maybe I will have to test that at some point. But nonetheless, we're here in the northern section of California, like I said earlier in the video. And it is just nice to be in this area. Obviously, I haven't done a ton up here, and it's kind of hard to tell where the transition changes, but obviously I think you can kind of tell, and for those who've been around ATS a little bit longer, this is still kind of part of the revamped area. The Northern California reskin doesn't necessarily overhaul the layout and how some of it is. It really does just give it a major facelift, however. So it is a big change nonetheless, and it is again free, and it's a multi-stage process. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say it was also multiple stages, but never mind that. Again, long day, but we're doing this because it is really cool, and I want to get this out to you guys. Hopefully Wednesday. So hopefully everyone is enjoying their Wednesday. And yeah, it has been pretty crazy with the amount of prime news and stuff I've been doing, along with all the other stuff I'm up to right now. And yeah, it is just nice to have lots more news, of course, on the 1.43, mainly on the ETS2 side. We've got a lot of stuff with Heart of Russia and stuff like that. But over here on ATS, I was really happy to see them bring something else for the 1.43 update. Obviously, they're still apparently bringing more, possibly. It kind of seems like that in the blog post. I never really say it in the Prime news, or at least occasionally I do. But it does seem at the end of the blog post they're always saying keep an eye out for more 1.43 news and updates and stuff like that. So I would assume, and it's a pretty safe bet, that there will be a couple more blog posts on specific things. Hopefully new things and not just a more in-depth look at some of the other stuff. I mean, I won't complain either way, but it would be nice to have some other new stuff as well. It'd be nice to see some other truck revamps as well. Obviously, they've done this little update for the Freightliner Cascadia, but it would nice to see some of the older trucks get a complete revamp, if not ultimately just put in the new models of them. But it's nice to have the updated versions, because honestly, the W900, put it this way, the Kenworth and Peterbilts need to have an update. I mean, they look good, but they really do need a new generation facelift, because they have been here since 2016 when the game first came in, and it needs some help. Not necessarily that the modeling is bad or anything like that, because that is certainly not the case. It simply just needs to be updated to what you would see now on the roads, because stuff has changed, just like, well, the Freightliner Cascadia from when they implemented it into the game till now. It was all analog dash with some digital display, obviously, to now full-blown tablet-like display. It's the way it's going, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I mean, everyone has their preferred tastes, obviously, but you know what? Change is good, and I am happy to see this update for the Freightliner Cascadia. Now, over the last little bit, of course, I've been, always saying thank you guys so much for the continued support. I truly do mean it, of course. But it is insane to say that we have just crossed the 500. Oh, I was going to say 500 subscriber mark. We're way past that now. 950. I was thinking of 5 on my brain. 950 subscriber mark. That is really, really impressive. So thank you guys so much. We are now lethally close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We are so close to it. Literally just a hand throw away. It is really, really close, and thank you guys so much. And it is really nice to be able to continue doing this for you guys. You guys all seem to really enjoy the episodes, the Prime News. Doesn't matter really what now. It is just nice to. It's nice to have basically this little family that enjoys watching the same stuff that I enjoy doing. And you know what? I've got plans for obviously the Christmas/holiday special. Depending on which way you approach this time of year, I've got plans for that. Obviously, I've just got to make sure my schedule permits for me to be able to do the plans that I have, but you guys will certainly hear about that, and I think you know where I'm going with this next statement. If you're not part of the multiplayer Discord, definitely check that out. Well, it's not necessarily a dedicated multiplayer Discord, but definitely if you're not part of the Prime Simulation Discord in general, and in specific the multiplayer section of it, definitely check that out, because if you want to be a part of an upcoming video or two, keep an eye out, because it is coming very soon, and I'll be putting notices on there, and I will say it obviously in whatever video is closest as well. Good, I can bypass the way station because I really didn't feel like doing it anyways. You know what, sometimes I'm really tempted just to go past it, but I also don't want to do that for the realism's sake. And also about realism, I do apologize. There have been a few episodes now where I simply do not either park the truck properly at the end of the episode and just call her good, or do something kind of, let's say, jank in the middle of the episode and just kind of not bother. Although this is ATS showcases, and again, for those who've been around a while now, know it's not necessarily a roleplay save. I still like to try and keep the driving as realistic as possible and smooth. Obviously, it helps with the new equipment, thankfully donated by you guys. But ultimately, I try and keep it as realistic as possible. And things are going to happen. It's funny. It doesn't really matter. In the end of the day, it is just a game. But I try and keep stuff realistic. So I do apologize for those who are really interested in the simulation aspect. And I kind of just pass it off as it's not a big deal. Obviously, it is a big deal. I want to try and keep stuff as realistic as possible. I am a simulation channel, and simulation game is what I enjoy. But it's also nice to just not have to worry about stuff, and that's the purpose of the save. I really need to get back into Prime Logistics on both ATS and ETS2 sides of things. Again, just a matter of time. I've got other stuff I want to do with games and stuff on the channel as well. I actually am planning a really fun Farming Simulator 22 series. Not necessarily one where it's a start from scratch, but I think one that would be a really kind of fun roleplay thing for me to do. I like the big equipment, so I kind of got a storyline that I think we'll go with, and we'll call that good. But hopefully that will come very, very soon, if not just into the new year, depending on how stuff happens and what time I have. But I think we're getting really close to our delivery point, which is quite nice. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Today, for some reason, has been... Oh, I don't have to stop. It's a green light. Today has been a very interesting challenge when it comes to my commentary. For some reason, I just have... It happens to everyone. But some days, I just cannot get stuff out smooth for the life of me. I think I've been doing okay in this video. But the Prime News earlier, when I actually covered this truck itself, that was a different story. That Prime News, the short audio segment in it, took me a long time. I gotta go this way, trucks only. I think I probably could have gone in down there, maybe, or is it all sealed in? No, I think it's all sealed in. It took me ages to try and get that done. And we're gonna turn on our flashes here now that we're in the complex. So yeah, that's just a little behind the scenes thing. It's not a big deal. It's just, yeah, it just happens some days. It's the way it is. But that's fine. I'm gonna go around here, make sure we leave lots of room. Yeah, it's just, you know what? It happens. But I think this episode hasn't been too bad. I know there's been times where probably could have done better, but I'm human. It happens. So let's see where we're parking in here, and it's gonna be a blind reverse. Lovely, unless if I spin around and make it a non-blind reverse, which I may do because I don't like blind reverse, and I don't know who would. So we're gonna spin around here, use the turning radius of my Freightliner Cascadia to my advantage, and we're gonna try and reverse this thing in here as legit as possible. So we're gonna come over here and kind of get the angle going. May need to give it a little bit more something. I think that may actually do. So we're gonna try and look out the window here and see if we can get this thing aimed into the spot. Nice, slow and steady wins the race. Try not to rush it. That's actually generally my problem. Hopefully I can get this turned enough and not clip the other trailer. Obviously I've got the arrow on the back of this trailer. Okay, I think we're okay. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking promising. I may have over-rotated early on. Yeah, I think I did. It is a long wheelbase Cascadia, but we're going to go to about there and see if I can shimmy this thing without taking out my front end. Try and shimmy this thing back into the spot. Can I see on that side? Barely. I mean, it is going. It's not bad. It's definitely not great. But, you know what? I think it may... I'm going to get it here. We're going to give it another attempt. Oh, I think I just bonked the wall. Yeah, I would say that is a pretty decent bonking. But the wall didn't break. I don't think you can in the game, but we're going to say that it didn't hit hard enough to break it anyways. So let's try and do this again. I'm going to kind of aim it that way a little bit more, then rotate. Okay, we're going to try and just put this more straight in. So we're going to come this way so I can actually see what I'm doing. And then we're going to go right here. How many times did it take to level up? Oh, well. Not a ton of space back in this yard, so, I mean, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to get around, but that's fine. There we go. Beautiful. Straighten it up. That's actually not bad at all. Yeah, it's not bad. So, I'm going to put that in neutral so then we don't hear it bleeping at us, or bleeping. Yeah, bleeping. Beeping at us because that's always annoying. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do love this 2022 Cascadia. It is quite a nice addition, I think, to have this update. The new features, especially in the interior here with the new dash. It's just nice to see. It's nice to have these updated versions, more realistic for... Oh, that was inside the building. That was a fail. It's nice to have these updated versions in the game. It's always nice. And hopefully SEO Software does more, which I think they will. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.